What's good, ladies and gents? Welcome back to MKO Boxing, aka MKO Pugilism, where we talk all things boxing. Remember to like and subscribe on YouTube, follow on TikTok, all that good stuff. So let's get into this one. It's just recently been announced, I think it was yesterday now, that Dana White and his Zuffa Promotions and his venture into boxing with Turkey Al Sheikh is now going to be televised on Paramount. So he's reached a broadcasting deal with Paramount where his shows are going to be televised on there. And as far as we know, the latest on it is that there's going to be 12 dates that he's got, which is pretty good. He said he aims to sign around 400 fighters is his sort of goal, and he was talking about thinking big, how he's kind of thinking bigger than the other promoters such as Eddie Hearn, Frank Warren, De La Hoya, the sort of big names in the game. He said he's got big plans. He was even talking about changing some of the rules, changing, I think, the shape of the boxing ring in his fights. And he says that basically his idea is that he signs a bunch of fighters, they compete in a kind of contender series style, and then the eventual winner will win their belt, their sort of, I think it's, yeah, the UBO belt. And once they've won the UBO belt, the idea is that they'll get on one of those Riyadh season cards, so one of Turkey Al Sheikh's cards. And then the idea is they get on Turkey Al Sheikh's card, they get to the top of that, UBO thing, which, to Dana White's defense, he said the UBO thing is more just an in-house thing within his company. So he said it's not going to be like a world title where he's trying to be like WBO, WBC, and the rest of them. He said he's just trying to sort of do something which is separate, where it just kind of counts towards what he's doing. So he said he's not going to compete in that respect. And he says the idea is you win that belt, you become the guy in your division in his company, and then you go on to Riyadh season and then to fight for the Ring Magazine title. So the top guy in his organization then goes for the ring belt, is sort of their prize that they're looking into. And he seemed to be suggesting that he's not really interested in the traditional route. So he seemed to sort of not be interested in getting his fighters in position for the four sanctioning body belts such as WBC, WBO, WBA, IBF. He seemed to be looking to get away from that and just deal with the Ring magazine. And for me, I think a lot of what he says in this interview is good. It makes sense that, yeah, he's looking to kind of do an in-house venture and build up fighters that way, and then they fight for Ring Magazine. But my only potential issue with it, well, two potential issues are, as a boxing purist, I don't think you need to change anything really with the ring. If you change the shape of the ring, I don't think that's necessary. And also, my other thing with it would be this idea of his fighters, by simply being the best in his organization, being automatically eligible to go for the Ring Magazine belt. Because I think that would be a bit silly, because you've got other fighters outside of that organization who will presumably be the best. So you've got, for example, now Alexander Usyk. He's the undisputed heavyweight champion. He holds all the belts, and he's obviously the Ring Magazine champion. Now, I think it would kind of be absurd if you had somebody who was in Dana White's organization, another heavyweight who proved himself the best of this UBO of Dana White's venture, and then he's automatically eligible for the Ring Magazine title. I think that would be out of order, because you've got obviously guys in the WBC, all the alphabet organizations. You've got top guys there that really have proved themselves to be the best in the division, and you got another guy who's not proved himself to be the best in the division. He's only the best in a quite a let's call it what it is, a kind of small organization. So it would be unfair for one of Dana White's guys, having not fought and beat the rest, the best of the within the sanctioning bodies, to then be eligible for this, for the Ring Magazine belt, because the Ring Magazine belt is really only is supposed to be for the person who's got all the alphabet titles, the person who's kind of the lineal champion, who's won everything, and then the Ring Magazine is given to them. That's how it's supposed to be worked. It's supposed to be for the best of all the bodies and the one who's got everything. Whereas if you do it this way, Dana White's talking about where you're just the best in his organization and you're not touching the other governing bodies, then I think it's a bit silly, and I think it will bring if obviously time will tell. We don't know exactly what it means, but if you do something like this, it's just gonna create more sort of chaos and more unnecessary complications in boxing. And I think, we need more unity in boxing. We just need the best fighting the best. We don't need more belts and all these sort of different ventures. If they're going to sort of take people off in different directions, we need ventures that are going to sort of bring the best together to fight the best of the rest. So anyway, that's my thoughts on it. I think it's good Dana White is in boxing, and most of the ideas he's coming with seem to be good. But this one with sort of co-opting the Ring magazine as the prize, for me, that's my only problem, because I think, as I said, there's other fighters outside that deserve the shot more. And I think it's all right having your organization, but I think it would make more sense if you said, right, the guy at the top of my organization will then test himself against the best of the rest, or the best of all the alphabets, and then Ring Magazine. I think that makes more sense, or at least one of the bodies, and then Ring Magazine, something like that. But I think to just jump into it is a bit, it's one of those that, from boxing standpoint, wouldn't make sense, and it just creates more chaos and more confusion. But let me know your thoughts, and until next time, it's MK with Boxing, over and out.